Hello, welcome to this episode of Huepy-B-Outdoors. In this episode, I'm going to review a wood gasifier stove, the Solender. Enjoy this video. This is a Solender wood gasifier stove. I'm just going to go ahead and unbox it, show you what's in it. Comes with this nice little mesh bag and warning, do save the instructions. I had trouble putting this thing back together. It comes with a little plate that you can use as an alcohol burner. We've got the main stove part. We've got the burner. And these holes look small enough that I think I could use wood pellets in it. Basically, this fits on top. And I was playing with this. I wondered if I put my alcohol burner underneath it, as wood ash dropped down, whether it'd leave a little burn mark. And it did. It helped out a lot, but a small piece of tin foil underneath that would protect the surface, or you'd want to put a little rock or something under this one. It fits like this. Then the burner goes in next, and you can build your little wood fire inside here. And what happens is, as the wood gases, as the wood heats the inside of the burner, the gases, combustible gases, actually fire like a secondary combustion chamber, and little jets of fire come out of there. And then the burner fits on top. Now, by reversing the burner inside here and putting it in upside down, it raises the platform where I can put the alcohol burner in there and use this as an alcohol stove. So let's go ahead and light a couple fires. I poured a little 70% isopropyl alcohol in the stove. You can say the 70% doesn't burn as clean as the 95%, or the heat, or the marine grade alcohols. Some of the others, the 70% will make your pot black. I'm going to set up this Solender stove into a wood burning configuration. Now, I didn't put it straight in grass. I found a little spot that's a little bit brown. I wanted to show you what happens. Now, I turn the alcohol burner upside down inside there, and I want to see if it keeps the ground from scorching. I am just going to start a little twig fire in the bottom of this. I've got some twigs broken up. Use good fire starting procedures. Make sure you have your smalls. And I'm just going to let this burn. The fire is down in that little combustion chamber. It has not started to gasify yet. You'll be able to see the flames coming out the little jets right around the surface here once it starts gasifying. Now this does have a hole in the side so that when you have your pot on, you can still continue to feed the fire. Now, you can see those flames. We are starting to gasify. See the flame, how uniform it is. And you can see the flames coming in through here. This is the gasifying, and I think this is pretty efficient. I have about 2 cups of water in this bush pot. So this style, you can continue to feed it while you have a pot. Some of them, you have to take your pot off and feed it. So I was looking for something specifically that you could continue to feed your fire. It'll burn any kind of biofuel, little sticks, twigs, pine cones. This is a great stove if you don't want to pack fuel along. Let's see what's happening to our water. It's got bubbles on the bottom. It hasn't become a rolling boil yet, but it is very close. Now I'm not going to feed it anymore. I'm going to let it burn down, and I want to see what kind of burn ring it left on the grass there, so we know. It's not a, well, there, as I was starting to say, it's not a rolling boil. We can see it starting to bubble. That's close enough. You can throw your ramen or your coffee in there at this point, and it's literally just been lit for a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna let it cool off, and let's see what kind of burn ring that it left. Now I still have a little bit of coals in here. I'm just gonna move this. I'm curious to see what kind of burn mark or singe mark it made. By placing my alcohol portion of the burner there, there's a little bit of brown spot here, and this grass is a little bit of brown, but again, I think if you put a piece of tin foil or a little piece of sheet metal under that, you just wouldn't have too much of a problem. Now I'm just going to set this burner back up for wood pellets, and I'm going to set it up in the same place. I wanted to mention the pot holder, when it folds up, these little arms fold straight down, and that works real good. But I found that when I set them up, at the angle that they're at, they do have the little edges here. They can catch a pot, but basically your pot, I don't think it's as secure because they're balancing on these 4 points. It doesn't really sit on there nicely. Now I figured out a little hack. If I take a Dremel and I make a little slice right here so that this thing will fold flat out instead of being at a little angle, that would make this a much better stove. So a little Dremel tool, I just remove a little bit of material here, and I think that would be easier than trying to mill some material out of the little arm of that itself right here. So you could take a little shot out of that, mill it there, or just mill it down just a little bit right here. I don't want to get the fire going real crazy. I'm just going to put maybe a few more in there. That's probably half a cup of wood pellets. Now I could probably start it with matches or newspaper, lighter fluid, but I'm using a little bit of gelled fire starter, just in this case. Okay, and like any kind of other alcohol, it's hard to see if that is lit. I believe it is lit, but again, like other alcohols, it's hard to see. Once these pellets get going, I'll bring you back. I'm anxious to see if this gasifies like the wood does. Now, my wood pellets were a little harder to get started. I was using that alcohol gel. It was starting to get old, the gel, but you can see this flame, those wood pellets are gasifying, and I can tell right now they're going to burn a lot longer than the wood twigs. So if you were going to be cooking something quick, you could do some wood twigs, do your quick cooking. If you needed to have this fire going sustained for a little longer cook time or several different portions of the meal, these wood pellets would be a good choice. This is a nice little biofuel stove. It is a gasifier stove. The fuels that you put in there, the combustible gases, are burnt in sort of a secondary combustion chamber. And I really like these wood pellets. This is really starting to burn real well. And again, they gasify just like the twigs. One thing nice about this stove is if you're in a place where you can't have an open fire, this could be a pseudo campfire. So you could still enjoy the ambiance of a campfire around camp in some place where you can't have an open fire. I'm going to show you guys one more time. Look at the pattern of those flames. This wood pellets are gasifying very nicely. Now imagine you could use charcoal inside this as well, but this is going to be the end of this video for today. Alcohol, wood, and wood pellets. This is a Soul Eater gasifying wood stove. I hope this video was helpful and gave you guys some information so that you could choose a stove. Thank you for joining me at this episode of Huepy-B-Outdoors.